Speaking of January 6th, as we were a minute ago, yesterday you got confirmation that the person who discovered the DNC pipe bomb from January 6th was a plainclothes U.S. Capitol Police officer who is currently a Capitol Police officer. Why is that significant?
Well, it's significant because, the second pipe bomb, we have video of the discovery of it. And I released that video. It's some of the only J6 video that's actually made it out, contrary to a bunch of promises. And I worked hard to get that video out because it showed somebody with a backpack, just plain clothes, going up to Secret Service, going up to Metro Police Department and saying, hey, there's a bomb over here. Well, they were eating their lunch in the cars.
Right.
And they took 4 minutes to get out of their car and actually do something about it. They let kids walk by it. So my thought, my charitable interpretation of the video until yesterday was that, okay, that's some random passerby, and he says to the cops, there's something bright and shiny over there in the weeds. You might want to check it out. And maybe that could explain their lackadaisical approach to the bomb. But I got confirmation yesterday, not only was that an undercover police officer, he told them there was a bomb over there.
Yeah.
He didn't say, there's something over there. It could be a lawn sprinkler. You might want to go see if it's leaking. He said, there's a bomb over there. And this is 15 minutes after they had responded to the other bomb that was near the RNC, but actually closer to the Capitol Hill Club.
So then your thought process is that they knew it was a serious problem, yet they just sat there like it was no big deal. So I guess the allegation would be, we still don't know if it was even an operable bomb, right?
That's what I wonder. Is that confirmed? Because I know you asked a while back.
Yeah. So I asked somebody yesterday who worked for the ATF on January 6th, did they inspect well, he maintained that it was viable. And then I said, but did the ATF inspect it? He said, no, it went to Quantico. So the FBI had possession of all that evidence. So for the ATF to maintain that it was operable, by the way, everybody keeps telling me this thing was viable, but it had a 60-minute kitchen timer.
Yeah, the way it was treated, certainly made it appear that it wasn't viable.
Correct.
How long was it sitting there?
17 hours it sat there with the 60-minute kitchen timer.
Right. Right. How many minutes are there in 17 hours, Thomas? Okay.
What you went to MIT, so you probably understand that. We don't. Right. We didn't go to MIT.
Congressman Massie, by the way, you're a great follow on Twitter. If you want to know what's really happening in Washington, D.C., I encourage people to follow you there. Why is and this is probably just a suspicion here, but I at least want to ask you, why is the timing of when they discovered that bomb so important to the timeline of January 6th?
Oh, well, it's important for several reasons, but first of all, the first bomb was found 5 minutes before the Capitol was breached, the Capitol perimeter.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
5 minutes before, and then the next bomb was found within 15 minutes of the response to the first bomb.
Incredible.
After sitting there for 17 hours.
Yep.
Now, here's something. This comes from the J6 committee, which wasn't good for much of anything, but they claim, we dug out of their report, that the discovery of the DNC pipe bomb actually stopped reinforcements of bicycle racks. They had hundreds of bicycle racks loaded up and ready to establish another perimeter around the Capitol once the first one was breached. And when they called for those bicycle racks, they couldn't get there because of the perimeter established by the second DNC, or the second bomb, the one at the DNC, which says whether there was intent or motive or not, the consequence of these pipe bombs was to make it easier to get into the Capitol.
Lack of manpower.
Right.
Yeah. Plus the manpower, but also the materials couldn't get to the Capitol because of that bomb.
My suspicion is, and I'm fairly certain, I won't speak for you, but I would think many people believe that they were inoperable pipe bombs, that they were there for show, right? That maybe somebody planted them there with the intent of just saying that there were pipe bombs on that day. to make it look more like an insurrection?
Yes, and then that heightens the conviction rates and the convictions of the people on January 6th. Because otherwise, there are no deadly weapons, guns and things like that. Right. These were the deadliest things that existed, and they used those in the statements of the indictments of the J6ers, the fact that there were pipe bombs on that day, to kind of create this air of an insurrection.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And they are still using the excuse that this is an ongoing investigation, so they can't tell you whether the pipe bombs were inoperable or not. 3 years later, you still can't tell us.
Correct.
Unreal.
And I, the assistant director in charge of the D.C. field office, he was over the entire investigation for 2 years. He can't answer these basic, simple questions. He wasn't even able to tell me who found the bomb, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of questions here. I'm serve on the Judiciary Committee and also the Weaponization Committee, and I am, we're charged with oversight of the FBI. And this is one of the most serious, if these were operable bombs, which the FBI maintains, this is one of the most serious threats to a vice president ever, because she was sitting 30 feet away from this DNC pipe bomb. She was at the DNC.
Yeah.
And if they've taken 3 years now to do this investigation, don't even have a suspect, it's just a comedy. We have to believe a comedy of errors and a bunch of astronomically improbable coincidences to believe their story. Then I think there needs to be another investigation here, maybe not led by the FBI. And that's basically what I'm trying to do, is to chase down every lead that I possibly can.